Yo, there she is on the ground. First time in like 2 years. But, damn, it feels good. But, anyway, let's jump right into it. Welcome back to the build, or welcome to the build if this is your first time. It won't be a typical video. No fabrication, no installation. It's going to be more of a update, progress, you know, where we're at and where we're planning on going from here. It's been a long journey, almost 2 years. I think I bought the Charger, the donor vehicle, in like November. So yeah, we're coming up on 2 years. Anyway, get y'all caught up to speed. So, first of all, what is it and why? It's a 2015 Jeep Renegade, front wheel drive, 2.4 liter 4-cylinder. Not that fun to drive. I've done the air ride suspension, wide body, and sure, it looked kind of cool, but wasn't fun to drive. So, the goal, pretty much rear wheel drive, V8 swap. And take a look at it. This thing started off, parts car was a 2016 Charger RT. It had been in a pretty significant crash, rollover, hit a phone pole. Front passenger suspension was in the trunk when I got it. I got it from Copart, in case y'all are wondering. I picked it up for $4,000. Pretty good deal, running and driving technically, and clean title also. But yeah, so pretty much the main goal is fully integrated OEM. I want it to be as close to hopping into a Charger as possible, except it's just in the body of a Renegade. I plan on reusing the whole wire harness, and it's got keyless entry, push to start, all that. I don't want any check engine lights and airbags to work, all that stuff. Guess we'll get into the build, where we're at with the drivetrain. So, stock block, 5.7 liter HEMI out of the 2016 Charger. Texas Speed Stage 4 cam. Got valves, springs, typical, you know, just valve job. That's about it. Nothing crazy. Pretty much stock, just a refresh. I didn't want anything to fail. It has 62,000 miles, so it's a little up there. I didn't hear any tick, didn't find anything when I took it apart, so I think we're doing pretty good. So, back on the drivetrain, we got the 5.7 HEMI and stock, I think it's 8-speed transmission. Nothing crazy with that. I do have a torque converter stall I got to put in there. And here's the Hellcat rear diff. That is a 309 gear, limited slip. Should be pretty rowdy for some burnouts. But, see, I got some Bluetooth drive shaft right now. So I called a local drive shaft shop today, driveline company, and they said they should be able to do it. I picked up a replacement Challenger drive shaft, 2-piece, and it unbolts. And it's like half the price of a Charger, so it's getting chopped up anyway. Might as well to save a little money on this ridiculous build. Okay, and then guess we'll check out suspension, wheels, and tires. Got me a little note sheet here so I don't forget anything. But suspension. Take a look inside here. We got BC coils, front and rear, and everything is stock Charger. For the most part, I do have adjustable upper control arm and all adjustable lowers. I did take everything off of the lower because I was having alignment issues, I thought. That was just, I had the rear frame too far back. I fixed all that over the past few weeks. It's back to normal. I guess we could check that out. Patch job. This is where I extended it and plated it in. Yeah, that should be plenty strong. I don't foresee that having any issues at all. So, oh yeah. I also added some crossbars. Stiffen up the suspension and put another crossbar with the trans tunnel. And drive shaft loop, all that. Forgot about that. Next up, brakes. Going to be using the stock Charger calipers, but as you can, let's check it out here. Where the master, or where the brake booster goes, there's no room. There's just incredibly limited. The Renegade is like a foot narrower overall, and where I had to cut it out, there's no room for brake booster. So I got manual brakes. we'll see how that works. But doing some Willwood manual brakes, all AN braided stainless lines, keeping the ABS. That'll allow me to do a line lock on the front. Should be pretty easy for some burnouts. Yeah, that pretty much wraps up the brakes. Okay, cool. Fuel. Not really sure about this one yet. I'm going to have to do a fuel cell. Of course, there's no room for anything. Where the Charger fuel cell was is pretty much where the whole rear end is. Didn't realize how much shorter the Renegade is compared to the Charger, but it's like 3 feet shorter. So, going to have to figure out how to fit a fuel cell in here, and I'm pretty sure it's going to have to go right back in this area. Yeah, kind of worried about getting rear-ended with the fuel cell in the back there, but I figure with enough reinforcement, bash bars, crash bars, everything, and firewall, so even if it does get hit, even if fuel does get out, it's not going to get into the cab. Whew, it's a little spicy out here. But then I got to figure out the lines. The factory stuff had the dual saddle tanks with the transfer and all that, the charcoal filter, a bunch of different lines on there. I'm going to have to consolidate, single fuel pump, and then, you know, I'll figure it out as I get there. Shouldn't be too hard. And as long as I get fuel up to the engine, it'll be all right. So, all right. So, exhaust. Going to be stock headers, catback, everything up until the rear end. And then kind of plan on having the exhaust come out right around there. Should make for some pretty interesting burnouts, get the air moving, and smoke show, whatnot, and don't really have any room for it to come out the back, you know. So next up, we got Bodywork. Right now, it's got a set of custom one-off wide-body fender flares. I built these back when I was, you know, stance fitment and all that, but they actually fit pretty good for this build right now. Unfortunately, I was never really happy with the design. We got the hard body lines, exposed hardware, and overall just not great. So I had built a CNC router table. You know, it's my CNC plasma table. It also has router capability, a little dual function thing. I built that with the intent of being able to CNC mill a plug for wide body build. You know, make the plug, make a mold, and then fiberglass flares and all that. Unfortunately, I'm not that good with the 3D rendering software. I've played around with some Blender and some Fusion 360. I'm just not that good at it yet. So, I was wondering if you guys had any suggestions. Anybody who can, you know, I can commission to get a wide body render build. I have the 3D model of the Jeep already that I was trying to use, you know, to mock up my own, but I'm just not that good at it. So, but yeah, if you guys know of anyone, shoot me a message, comment below. That way, try to get this ball rolling. This build is finally coming to, not to an end, you know, it's like a good point where it looks like it's finally going to finish eventually. I was shooting for the end of October to have it running, and, you know, just as an arbitrary goal, and it looks like it might happen. It's on the ground, it's rolling chassis. Huge step forward. So, but that brings us to the next part. I also got to sort out the engine tuning. I got the ECU unlocked, HP tuners, but I don't know anything about tuning these things. All I've ever done is drop a file, you know, do a log while I'm making some pulls and whatnot, but never with this car, never with a HEMI. So apparently they're, you know, difficult from the little bit of research I've done. So, if you guys know of anyone reputable that can do remote tuning, you know, flash the ECU, all that, HP tuners, yeah, let me know on that one also. And so, lastly, we got future plans for the build after I get it running. Boost. Yeah, it's definitely not staying naturally aspirated. I mean, come on. And air ride suspension, of course. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I got a few cars that are on air. This one was already on air. I might as well keep it that way. Plus, you know, air ride. It's just cool as shit. So, and these wheels, I mentioned in the last video, these aren't my forever wheels. I want to get a set of Weld Racing, you know, put some big meats on the back, some slicks, you know, after I get it boosted, and see what this thing will do. I mean, it'll be a handful. I doubt it'll be fast, but I wouldn't mind trying, you know, and see where this thing goes. But yeah, with that, I'd like to say thank y'all, everyone's commenting, you know, positivity, likes, all that. It's really keeping me going on this build. You know, it gets kind of difficult out here just working. Shit, it's just me in my driveway out here getting it, you know, having fun doing it. It gets kind of difficult sometimes, but you guys commenting, keeping me going, really pushing me to get this through. I mean, I would never have this thing sitting here right now if I wasn't uploading videos and y'all keeping me on it, because, you know, I don't feel like letting y'all down, and letting myself down with the build also. So, and also, if I didn't cover anything in the video, you can go ahead, comment, ask questions, whatnot. I'll answer. I'm just rambling on right now, and because I'm sure I forgot some stuff. But anyway, yeah, thanks again for following along with the build. It means a lot for real. But anyway, thanks for checking out the build. Come check out the next video. I'll be getting the brakes put on this thing, and that'll be one step closer to get this thing running. So anyway, thank y'all. Appreciate it. Burnouts. Damn, I am sweating hard. I shouldn't be wearing a long sleeve.